Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking the Real Housewives of Orange County, season 16, episode 1. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. All right now peeps, listen. I don't know if I'm in for this season or not. Orange County really rubbed me the wrong way the last couple seasons. The best thing about this new season that there is no Kelly Dodd and no Bronwyn. So we're already winning, I guess. So let's see how it goes. So we all know that Fancy Pants Heather is back. She is back. Her and her 22,000 square feet gorgeous home. Okay, her house is like art. I've never seen anything as beautiful as Heather's house, and I really loved her previous house. I mean, I have no idea how much she paid for this house. I do know that it was at least $20 million. This place is absolutely gorgeous. We took a little time to catch up with her family. Her kids have grown so much in the last 5 years. They are absolutely adorable. They are smart, they are funny, they are well-rounded children. But of course, didn't we expect that when it comes to Heather and Dr. Dubrow? Also, we find out that her twins are 18. And they said something I thought was a little funny, that they think that most kids are excited about being 18 because they lose the curfew. But her kids said they never had one. And I thought, that's a lot different than around here. Okay, because my son has always had a curfew. I mean, he doesn't now because he's in college and he is living his best life because he does not have his mama on his back. Okay, because let me tell you something. If he still lived in my house, there'd be a curfew. I'm just saying. So we find out that all of a sudden this season, Emily and Gina are supposed to be best buddies. They are best friends now. Right, I don't buy it. 4 episodes from now, they'll be at each other's throat. Anyway, they're out working out at a little Pilates class or something like that. And I have to tell you, Gina and Emily look amazing. One thing that I have always said about Emily is I don't really like Emily, but I love her hair. That woman has the best hair on the show. It's long, it's thick, it's shiny. Her hair is just everything. That's all I have to say good about Emily. You know, I found out a few weeks ago, and I was happy to see that she mentioned it on the show. After taking the bar exam allegedly about 8 times, California has lowered the scoring system due to C19, and Shane has finally passed his bar exam. And I said to myself, this is not all right. This is national TV, and now everybody knows that not only did it take you 7 to 8 times allegedly to pass it, you finally passed it when they brought the number down. I don't think I'd hire you.
Very exciting. Last summer when they were giving the bar exam again, it was during COVID, so they lowered the passing score to like 1390. And last time Shane took it, he scored higher than 1390, which means he passed the California bar exam. And he's an attorney in California.
Am I allowed to make fun of him for that?
Oh, go ahead.
This is too much fun for me. Shane Simpson passed the bar because they lowered it so that he could reach it. It's truly a gift.
No, I don't want to hire you, Shane. I'm just saying, congratulations, Shane. We find out that Gina finally, after several delays due to C19, was able to go to court to testify and give her victim's impact statement for the alleged domestic violence that she suffered from her husband. I say alleged because I don't know these people. I was not there. I didn't see it myself. She was very upset still. She was still shaking and crying over giving her statement towards her ex-husband, the father of her children, especially now that she said that throughout the pandemic, their relationship continued to get better and better. My thing is this. I understand you not wanting to say anything bad about him. He is the father of your children. However, I believe that if you are bold enough, brave enough, and bad enough to put your hands on me, deal with your punishment, fella. You daggone right, I'm gonna be down at the courthouse early in the morning. Look here, buddy. We getting along, we co-parenting, great. But remember that time? I'm going down to the court and let them know. I'm sorry. I like Gina. I appreciate it, but no, ma'am. Wipe your tears. Get yourself some therapy. You did the right thing. He cannot get away with allegedly putting his hands on you. No, ma'am. And what if you let him get away with this and then he goes and thinks that he can put his hands on somebody else's daughter? No, ma'am. You have got to set an example with him. I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on. We check in with Shannon and find out that nothing has changed. That woman is still erratic, crazy, controlling, overbearing, just doing too much Shannon Stormbador. Oh boy. But one thing that I did like to see is her daughters. They look amazing. They have grown up. Her daughter's at her second year at Baylor in Texas. The twins are 2 years away from going to college. Listen, this is the time that she should be enjoying these moments with these ladies. Enjoy these moments with your daughters before they're all off to college and living their own lives. Girl, enjoy these kids and stop stressing the hell out of these kids. I'm just saying, Shannon is a big ball of mess. So we ended up meeting one of Heather's friends, a lady named Nicole. Turns out they've been friends for about 8 years. We also find out that somehow Nicole knows Shannon. Now, when Heather brings up Shannon to Nicole, Nicole makes it seem as if they know each other just because their kids went to preschool together, and it was sort of a hey girl kind of situation, not that they actually know each other.
So, like, do you know Shannon Bador? I would say, yes, we know each other. I don't know if she'll remember me.
So that was a little odd to find out later that Shannon says they know each other. We also find out that Heather is having a party and she lets Nicole know that Shannon is going to be at the party, you know, but she hasn't forgotten how Shannon acts, who Shannon really is. And Bravo said, that's all right, you don't have to forget because we're going to put this montage together. So, of course, Shady Bravo throws the montage in of Shannon being Shannon. Heather says that everybody deserves a restart / second chance. So she's going to do her best to try to restart and refresh her friendship with Shannon. We also found out in this episode that Emily had a little nip tuck. So it turns out that she had a mini facelift on the lower part of her face. She had her breast implants removed. Instead, she had some fat transferred into her breast with a breast lift. Personally, I think Emily looks amazing. I think that she looks fantastic. And I don't mind a woman getting a few tweaks. I don't mind a man getting a few tweaks. If a few tweaks here and there make you happy, make you feel like a brand new person, I say get it. We meet the newest housewife. It turns out her name is Dr. Jen. And Dr. Jen is one of the new housewives that's friends with Bronwyn. I said, oh, wow. Not only is she friends with Bronwyn, she looks like Bronwyn a little bit. Only nicer. She looks better. I don't mean to be rude because you know I don't like to talk about people's looks. I'm not saying anything about Bronwyn. I'm just saying Jen looks a little nicer. Turns out, you know, I like Jen. She's got a sexy husband, 3 adorable kids, a pregnant nanny, a beautiful home. She is holding down her business. She has a cosmetics business. She is some sort of cosmetic doctor, not quite a plastic surgeon, not quite a dermatologist. I don't know. Listen, honey, she makes the good money. And she's got a husband who deals with Airbnbs. Got some kind of website that facilitates Airbnbs. I don't know, honey. But from the looks of their home, they're doing quite okay. Gina, who met Jen, which bravo people. Listen, stop with these housewives named Jen and Jenny. It's too much. Anyway, turns out that Gina met her at Bronwyn's vow renewal, and Gina goes in to see her and decides to get a few tweaks here and there. Now, personally, I thought that Gina looked absolutely gorgeous when she got to the doctor's office. But as I've said before, if a few tweaks makes you feel better and turns you into a new woman, do it. Gina got a few Botox injections in her chin and in her neck, and she's gonna come back for a little lipo to get a little 6-pack on her abs, which, can you blame her? No, do it, girl. Then you see Gina Emily and Shannon go out for little drinks, a little lunch. Emily makes that same stale ass joke that we keep hearing all the time about the new Tres Amigas. Now let me tell you something, honey. There is only one Tres Amigas, okay? And if it doesn't include Vicky and Tamara, there are no amigas. Okay, we're not gonna do that. Now stop this, okay? And by the way, Tamara has been getting shedded together all over social media these last few days. Listen, Shannon, turn the volume all the way up. Shannon stormed the door. Leave Tamara Judge alone. That is some smoke on the internet you don't want. You are not ready. You are not ready. You're too delicate for this. Stop it, Shannon. Anyway, Shannon is here in her suck-up mode at the lunch. She wants to let Emily and Gina know that their friendships may have started off rocky, but oh, they are so close now. They're friends now. Things are so much better now. Ma'am, we are on to you. Everybody knows that every season, this is what you do. Every season, you try to make friendships, put packs together so that you can try your very best to have a group that's gonna back you up when the stuff hits the fan. No, ma'am. There is no way that these girls are your besties. Also, did anybody notice that Shannon's confessional look was the same dress that Erica was wearing on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills when she didn't have any underwear on? Remember that whole thing that blew up and PK and everybody was in this woman's business? Shannon is wearing that same dress. I said, that is an odd coincidence. Also, it was Shannon pretending that she was happy that Heather is back for me. Girl, stop lying. She is telling Emily and Gina how great Heather is, how funny she is. I said, no, ma'am, you are not happy that Fancy Pants is back on the scene. No, ma'am, because remember, Fancy Pants, listen, Heather is not only too fancy and too bougie from time to time, she's a little bossy too. I mean, Shannon is not here for Heather. Quit faking. We're on to you. So that while they're having lunch, Shannon mentions to them that Heather called her to invite her out to lunch, but to also let her know about this party that she's having. She tells Shannon about her friend Nicole.
I was walking with a girlfriend this morning, and she says you guys know each other. I think your kids went to preschool together. You know Nicole James?
Wait a minute, is this Nicole Weiss?
That's not her maiden name from her last husband, I don't think.
And I go, oh my God, Nicole Weiss. And she goes, no, it's Nicole James.
I think she's just been married a whole bunch. You just don't know.
She looked like Pam Anderson. She dated Kid Rock. I lost track of time with her after preschool. But I was good friends with Nicole Weiss.
What's your name before James?
Weiss. She remembers you.
Nicole making that face makes you think she is hiding something, right? So we meet the new housewife who is also a friend, or was a friend, of Bronwyn. I said, dang, Bronwyn not only got fired, she was replaced by two of her good friends. Anyway, we meet Noelle.
Okay, I've seen his billboards. So your husband's an attorney?
Yes.
So why sweet? Is he sweet? Is that his billboard personality or his real personality?
It is him, and it's so
really
freaking
sweet.
obnoxious. He's the
really
sweetest.
My husband and I actually met online. So we were speaking with each other for a few weeks before we actually physically met at the Ritz, and waitress came by and wanted to know if we went another round. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We're getting a room. Let's go upstairs. We fooled around and fell in love.
But then I fooled around and fell in love. I fooled around and fell in love.
You know, no one wants to hear about married people's sex life.
We have a sex dungeon in our house. So yeah, people ask about things.
Now listen, honey, the verdict is still out on this girl. She's nice and everything, but she clearly does not know her audience. Heather is not here for the sex dungeon talk. And Noelle kind of comes off as a little phony to me. I don't know. I'm going to have to fill her out. Get down in the comments, peeps. What are you thinking about Noelle right now? Are we feeling her? I don't know. Right now, Jenny is the one that I'm really liking. When Nicole was talking to Heather, she made it seem as if she didn't really know Shannon all that well. Maybe they were just an acquaintance. But Shannon is making it seem as if they go way back. She knows this woman's business, and maybe this woman has a lot of skeletons in her closet. But then we find out What's happening?
I didn't have a credit card with me, and I was the last man standing, so somebody paid the bill.
I paid it.
Oh my gosh.
I owe you. I brought money.
And she's dining and dashing? Like, is this the Mount
Oh
Kisco
my
diner?
God.
Like, girlfriend Nicole. By the way, that is her maiden name. You have the right person.
All right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. Tell us what secret Shannon shared about Nicole.
Okay. I'll spill the tea. Just last night, Shannon told Emily and I that she had this secret about Nicole, that Nicole sued Terry Dubrow. This woman, Nicole, is in fact the woman she thought she was. She doesn't know that this woman. You gonna tell her?
Stop it. Like, I'm serious right now. Stop.
I'm just saying.
You made a promise to me last night.
What?
Okay, so listen. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. How messed up are you? That's not real cool. That Heather just so happened to come to the restaurant, and were you dining and dashing? Did you run up out of there and then Heather ends up paying the bill? So you and your girl group, the fake amigas, is out somewhere whining and dining and nobody has a credit card? You know, Heather was nice enough to pay that bill, but I tell you what, Heather is not me. Because maybe I would have paid it just to save them some embarrassment, but there's no way that they wouldn't have all gotten a call or a text. So where is my money? Don't be out here at these fancy, nice restaurants dining and dashing. What in the world? It's the right person. I don't know if I buy this, though. I mean, if this lady is Heather's friend for 8 years, Terry would have had to have met her. Wouldn't Terry know that this is the woman that sued him? Wouldn't Heather know? I mean, do we think that Shannon is lying, trying to start something? Or do we think that maybe she did sue Terry and Terry and Heather have just decided to move past it? I have no idea. I'm starting to wonder if Shannon is being honest. Remember, her last name was different. And Heather had to ask her what her maiden name was. Is it possible that Shannon could be telling the truth? Honey, listen, Fancy Pants gives them a tour of the house. Okay, watching the tour of this house, I was so excited. I felt as if we were transported into an old episode of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Remember with Robin Leach? But at the same time, it reminded me that I'm poor. I mean, oh my gosh. It was the warm towel drawer for me. When she opened up that drawer and said, touch the towels, I said, oh, that was the best thing for me. It really was. I said, this house is great. But can you imagine just stepping out of that luxurious shower, pull out the drawer, and you've got these nice warm towels? I mean, that is awesome. But then I thought to myself too, is that a possible fire hazard? I don't know. Anyway, she's got those ice drawers down in the kitchen. I thought that was nice. The cooling drawers or the refrigerated drawers or whatever. It's too fancy. I don't have any of that. I have a refrigerator, but I don't have any of that fancy stuff. Anyway, listen, she said on Watch What Happens Live that they had stopped and had several drinks before the tour was finished. This house is 22,000 square feet. I was with Gina. Gina said I should have worn tennis shoes. Absolutely, honey. Going to her house is almost like going on a zoo trip. You are going to be all over the place. You know, Shannon, she says that she's triggered. She gets all emotional and upset. And the thing that was odd to me was even though she was triggered, Heather just continued on with the tour. I said, oh gosh, Heather. But I could see Shannon getting triggered. You know, her and David used to live in the same neighborhood, and Shannon's house was pretty cool when she first came on the show. They had that basketball court and everything. Remember, she had the bowl with the 9 lemons for the feng shui. Things have changed. I would be sad too. I mean, as a matter of fact, as I was watching it, I said, this is great. Dang, I wonder if I should play the Mega Millions. I mean, seriously, that's the only way I'm getting a house like that.
I'm the best friend that you could ever have. I am a bad bitch to the freaking end, but I also have some bodies buried of ex-friends.
Now listen here, Bronwyn is used to losing friends, but I'm sure she is really pissed this season. I mean, really pissed. Now honey, listen, Noelle, you need to pipe down about what you have at your private jet. Talk to Erica Girardi. Be quiet. We don't want to hear anything about your finances and your life, your money, none of that. Because, you know, how is it that you have a private jet? I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm not saying anything because I don't know these people. But pipe down, okay? Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Check out last season and check out the current season of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake, Noelle. Pipe down.
Things where it's like I'm stressed when Shannon's calling us all the time and everything's a problem.
She called me last night. She kept saying, Emily, you're an attorney. You need to find this information about this Nicole. What am I supposed to do with this information? Bring it up at a dinner party?
Yeah.
It's typical Shannon behavior where she likes to stir up trouble on the down low so that not everybody is privy to it. That way, if it comes back up, she can play the innocent victim. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, listen, that is Shannon 101. Everybody has said that. Everyone has said that about Shannon. Tamara and Vicky has been saying for years that Shannon always tries to produce the show from the background. She is always dropping little gems, carrying and collecting bones from this place to that place, and then stepping back, acting as if she had nothing to do with it. That's the same reason they had the poll on Watch What Happens Live. Does Shannon like to stir the pot and step away? 96% said yes. That's just facts. That is just facts. Tamara and Vicky have been saying that Shannon has been doing this for years. And not only that, they have also said the same thing that Emily and Gina said, that she loves to call them all hours, day and night, crying and complaining and arguing and fussing. That is Shannon Bador. And also, I would just like to say, did anybody notice how puffy in certain scenes Shannon's face was? You know how sometimes when you are drinking too much alcohol, your face gets really puffy? Is that what's happening with Shannon? I'm not saying it is. So it's alleged. It's in my opinion. But her face is looking real alcohol puffy. It's giving puffy alcoholic. I'm just saying. I don't know what this woman is doing, but that's what it's given. So it turns out Shannon has an attitude with Gina because Gina brought up the whole Nicole suing Terry situation at lunch, but Heather wasn't even at the table. So I don't know why you have an attitude with Gina. I really don't. I also don't understand why you would share any of this information with Gina either. Don't you know her? Haven't you seen her in previous seasons? Gina cannot hold water. The woman tells everything. That's your fault, Shannon. You should not have shared that information. Honey, listen, when Emily came in there and told Heather, thank you for paying for our lunch or whatever that was, I said, wow, this just doesn't make sense to me. Y'all are grown people. Anyway, you guys, get down in the comments. Was I too mean? Was I too hard? Am I getting cold? Let me know, peeps. I'll check in with them next week and see what's happening. But I just want to say, I don't know if I'm 100% in with the OC. Also, I am not covering the Ultimate Girls Trip. I do not want to pay for Peacock or whatever that is. I don't want to pay for it. Bravo played the very first episode just to get us hooked and make us go to Peacock. I'm not doing it. I have everything else. Disney, Netflix, Amazon, cable, all of that. I'm not paying for not one more streaming service. They can forget it. Anyway, you guys, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.